If cancer means that cells grow out of control, why are there so many different types? Why do we say breast cancer, lung cancer, blood cancer, skin cancer, brain tumor, or bowel cancer? Why not simply call all of them cancer? Cancer is not just one disease. Cancer is the name for a large group of diseases. They all begin with same basic problem. Some cells stop following the body's rules. They grow when they should not, and they may behave in harmful ways. But the type of cell that undergoes these changes makes a big difference. A skin cell is different from a blood cell. A lung cell is different from a liver cell. A breast cell is different from a bowel cell. Each type of cell has its own job, so when different cells become cancer cells, they do not all behave in the same way. That is why cancer is an umbrella name for many different diseases. Every cancer begins in a cell, but your body contains many different kinds of cells. Skin cells help protect your body. Blood cells carry oxygen and fight infections. Lung cells help you to breathe. Bowel cells help process food and absorb nutrients. Breast cells help make milk, and they can respond to hormones that can control their growth and development. Immune cells protect the body from germs and damaged cells. When one of these cells stop following the body rules, it can become the beginning of a particular type of cancer. Melanoma begins in the cells that give skin its color. Leukemia begins in cells that makes blood. Lung cancer begins in the cells in the lungs. Breast cancer begins in the cells in the breast. Cancer is also more common in some parts of the body than in others. Cells in places such as the skin, bowel lining, and blood-making tissue divide often. Every time a cell divides, there is a small chance that something may go wrong in its instructions, which is the DNA. Heart muscle cells divide very little, so cancer of the heart is very much rarer. This means the place where cancer begins is very important. The starting cells is sometimes called the cell of origin. That simply means the normal cell that first changed and become cancerous. The basic problem may be the same, but the starting cells and the parts of the body around them are different. Think about a fire in a building. A kitchen fire, an electrical fire, and a fire in the basement are all fires. But they do not behave in exactly the same way. They begin in different places, involve different materials, and may spread differently. Cancer is similar. Breast cancer, lung cancer, leukemia, melanoma, and bowel cancer all involve cells that have stopped following the body's rules. But where the cancer begins influences how it grows, how it spreads, and how doctors treat it. The organ where the cancer grows also affects the symptoms it causes. A lung tumor may block the airways or take up space needed for breathing. A tumor in the bowel may block the path used by food and waste. A tumor in the liver may stop the liver from cleaning the blood and processing the nutrients properly. So the place where cancer begins affects both how the cancer behaves and how it affects the body. This is important because doctors cannot look for every cancer using one test. Different cancers need different tests. A mammogram is an X-ray of the breast used to look for breast cancer. Bowel screening tests are used to look for cancer in the bowel. Cervical screening is used to find changes that may lead to cervical cancer. Low-dose CT scans may be used for some people who have a high risk of lung cancer. Different cancers can also have different causes and risks. Too much ultraviolet light from the sun can increase the risk of skin cancer. Smoking greatly increases the risk of lung cancer. A long-lasting infection with a virus called HPV can cause some cervical cancers. Some people are born with the changes in their genes that increase their risk of certain cancers. This is why there is no single way to prevent every type of cancer. Understanding the differences between cancers helps doctors choose better treatments. Doctors ask where the cancer has begun, but they may also study the cancer cells closely. They look for changes in the cell's instruction, which is the DNA, and find out what is helping the cancer survive and grow. Some medicines are designed to attack a particular change in a cancer cell. Hormone treatments can slow cancers that use hormones to grow. Immunotherapy can help the body's immune system find and attack some cancer cells. The more doctors understand about a person's cancer, the more carefully they can choose the cancer treatment. So, cancer is not one disease, it's a large group of diseases that share one main problem. Cells stop following the body's rules. The same basic problem, but different starting cells, different parts of the body, different changes inside the cells, different diseases, and different treatments.